We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
All right, so hello everybody. Let's continue with the remaining part of our unit 5 of control of electrical drives, that is dynamic modeling and vector control of AC drives. Why we are using the term AC drives and not induction motor drives? Because the methods which we are discussing right now are applicable both to synchronous motors and induction motors, and majority of the AC motors are either in induction motors 90% of the case, and for very large size applications you can go for synchronous motors, right? So in general we are using the term AC motor drives. Now what we are discussing at present, that the V by F control method or variable frequency control is the best method so far, but it is a scalar control method. That means we are taking care of magnitude of the quantity only and not the angle part. When you show a AC quantity, it's a time varying quantity, so its magnitude and angle continuously in an iterative manner it is changing. And that is what you can show with the help of a rotating vector known as a phasor. So you are controlling the magnitude of that phasor only and not the angle, right? So that particular control had a problem which is known as a coupling problem, where torque and flux could not be controlled independently. What we would like to do, so far as the motor control is concerned, we would like to, most of the times, up to rated speed, keep flux constant, and we would like to change only the torque part, right? So that motor's torque producing capacity is not disturbed, and motor does not go into saturation. And that is the reason because of which we keep V by F ratio constant. So scalar control had the problem, and so the solution was that why don't we go for a control of induction motor in which we can control the motor just like a separately excited DC motor. And that idea gave rise to the method known as the vector control. This is what we had discussed yesterday also, but we'll continue with the discussion. So this is the DC motor, separately excited DC motor, which is having flux and armature current, that is field current and armature current. They are produced by 2 separate systems and they are orthogonal or 90° to each other. So what happens? The change in one quantity, say armature current, doesn't affect the field current or flux, or change in field current does not affect the armature current or related items, that is torque. So that is what we would like to achieve in case of induction motor also. So torque, as you see on the screen, it is a function of interaction of 2 quantities, armature current and field current. So if you keep one constant and vary the other, it is all right. So this is called vector control. Now how to achieve it? If I want to achieve vector control for induction motor, I need to find out 2 components of the voltage or current which are at 90° to each other, and which are affecting, one should affect torque only and the other should affect flux only, right? So how to do that? Then the engineers, scientists help with that we can go for some sort of transformations, mathematical transformations. ट्रांसफॉर्मेशंस की डिटेल में अभी हम नहीं जाएंगे, बट हमने कल देखे थे 3 phase to 2 phase transformation, 2 phase stationary to 2 phase synchronous, the reference frame transformations. So as a transformations help us in getting conversion from ABC, that is 3 phase variable quantities, to 2 different quantities ID and IQ or VD and VQ, they are at 90° to each other and they are not varying with respect to time. Right? That transformation also we had discussed yesterday. We'll again revise those things also. So if I have a control in this fashion wherein I can control IDS independently and IQS independently, then I can have a vector control. So vector control में कैसे करेंगे? We'll keep IDS constant most of the times. We'll vary IQS based on the requirement of torque and acceleration and speed. So ultimately, based on all these requirements, PWM pulses will be produced by inverter, and inverter ultimately produces the output voltage and frequency such that the motor is controlled in a required fashion. So ultimately, what you are going to have is a control wherein the voltage and frequency both will be varied, but the logic will be based on ID and IQ requirements, right? So we'll see how vector control is carried out slightly later, where we already had discussed yesterday, but IQ is the component which is affecting analogous to IE or affecting torque only, and ID is the component affecting field current or flux only, right? So this DC machine like performance we would like to have. Uske liye we had all this reference frame theory which we had discussed. We can always have a 3-phase to 2-phase transformation. We had discussed how we can go for this. एक simple example हमने लिया था जिससे हमने दिखाया था how we can if transform मतलब if I have a 2 axis VQ and VD which are at 90° to each other, how can we find out component of these two on VA axis, जिसको हम लोग RYB या ABC फॉर्म में नोटेट करते हैं. V0 axis जो V0S है वो हमारे zero sequence component है. It is there only when there is an unbalance in the system, right? Healthy system में and balanced system में this is generally going to be absent or zero. So accordingly, we had these equations. When you invert this matrix, that means if we can find from VQS, VDS, and V0S these three values, then we can go the reverse way also. That is, if I have VABC or VRYB, three-phase values we have, and the value of theta V if we have, theta is this angle between these two axes, then we can always find out the DQ axis parameters. And similarly, we can transform these DQ axis parameters to another reference frame which is also DQ, but it is rotating in the space with synchronous speed, which is nothing but omega, with omega E, which is 120 F by P, our synchronous speed, right? So these are the transformation equation from DQ stationary reference frame to DQ synchronously rotating reference frame, right? So accordingly, we had proved yesterday that if I have three-phase AC system, then after transforming to DQ stationary and then up to DQ synchronously rotating reference frame, the quantities become DC, Vm cos phi minus Vm sin phi. So there is no T term over here. With respect to time, this is not varying. So then this term can be used very effectively for controlling part, right? So that is how the vector control is achieved. This is what arbitrary reference frame we had yesterday discussed, so we'll skip to that. This is the model which we have developed using this DQ model. And yeah, so in short, so far as vector control is concerned, the DQ model can be combined in this fashion. That if whatever stator voltage is applied because of which there is going to be some current. So this current is going to have two components, IQ and ID. ID is going to control or affect the flux part only, and IQ is going to affect the torque part only. So that is the beauty of the transformation, right? That mathematical derivation is not there in your scope. This is the topic which is generally taught at PG level or MTech level. So at undergraduate level, this is sufficient for you. And if I know these two components of current, the total current is always going to be IDS square plus IQS square. Why? Because these two are assumed to be at 90° to each other. That is the basic concept which we are supposed to remember all that time. They should be at 90° to each other so that variation in one does not affect the other, right? So before we go to this particular slide, I would like to show the variation. You can see this current. So here, this is my stator current value, previous value. Now I want to change IQS. So how I can change IQS without affecting IDS? So you see, I have increased the value of stator current IS in such a fashion that this D component, IDS component is constant. Only this Q component has increased. So you have changed the value of current, but you've taken care that ID component is same. Can you see this? So this is how I can have only change in IQS. So it is going to affect torque only. So you are taking care of the magnitude as well as angle. That's why it is a vector control. Similarly, suppose you want to change flux, that is ID component, and you do not want to change IQ component. So this is the IQ component. This is what you are going to keep constant. This much is the previous value of my stator current, which is having two components, IQS and IDS. Now I want to increase IDS, so I have increased the value, but this component remains same, right? You can see this distance remains same still. So IS की value change हो गई, it has increased, but without affecting the quadrature component or Q component, so without affecting the torque. So likewise, I can have a decoupled control over here. ID I can change without affecting IQ, or IQ I can change without affecting ID. That is the beauty of the vector control. But actually, what is control? Actually, D and Q are hypothetical components mathematically derived. Actual current is IS only. So we change IS only, but in such a fashion that this components or this component, whichever is our desire to change, that only we change. So that is the beauty of the vector control. This is the diagram which you are supposed to remember to understand the vector control, that you have two components, one affecting torque, the other affecting flux. They are at 90 degrees to each other, and you can change one independently without affecting the other, and doing so involves changing magnitude as well as angle. आप देख सकते हो इस करंट का हमने सिर्फ मैग्नीट्यूड ही नहीं चेंज किया, एंगल भी चेंज हो गया है, right? At present IS was at certain angle theta dash, now this is at different angle, right? So magnitude and angle दोनों यहाँ पे आप control करते हो, change करते हो, and that is why it is called decoupled control, right? So now let us see how the vector control works. So vector control is basically block diagram wise it is shown over here, that this is my machine or induction motor. So I have, this is the required value of IDS and this is the required value of IQS. Based on my required values, I will go for the transformation, right? So these are the values which are DC. That means referred as if they are referring to the synchronously rotating reference frame. So when you want to compare it with this, you have to first convert it into stationary reference frame and then stationary to ABC. So these are my required values of IA, IB, IC, which should be there so that I can have required value of IDS, and this is required values of IQS. Whenever any variable is having asterisk star over it, that means it is desired value or required value for a required performance. So these are the required values of IABC. Now inside machine, what actually is there is actual value, you compare it with it, and then my controller actually based on the difference controls, right? This is inside machine. Now inside machine, what happens? This IABC is converted into DSQS, stationary form, and stationary to IDS, IQS. So we assume that whatever I have this IDS, it is going to change the machine IDS. This is actual value and this is required value. And this is the control part. So this is going to control the flux. Similarly, required IQS is going to affect the actual IQS and produce required flux or required torque to have a required speed. And for that, what is required? It requires cos theta, sin theta. That is, transformations are required: 3-phase to 2-phase, and 2-phase stationary to 2-phase synchronously rotating reference frame. So this is the basics of vector control, which you are supposed to understand. The closed loop control works in a similar manner as that of the other control methods. So that is not what we are going to discuss right now. So in short, for vector control, you need to have a D and Q component of our control variables, and for that you are not supposed to have a transformation. And this cos theta e sin theta e is the key. इसके बिना आप transformation नहीं कर सकते. So these cos theta e sin theta e, they ensures that this is affecting actual IDS in the machine. This is affecting actual IQS in the machine, right? So this is what we have already discussed. This is the machine modeling, how actually the calculations are happening, right? So you can see over here what you are supposed to measure: 3 voltages and 3 currents, right? So we have IA, IB, IC measured. We have VA, VB, VC measured. 3 phase values we can very easily measure with CTs and PTs, current sensors and voltage sensors. Then we can have a 3 phase to 2 phase transformation, जिससे हम लोग VDS, VQS कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. RS की वैल्यू IQS and IDS भी इसी तरह से कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. Resistance, that is all motor parameters are already available. So from that we can have all these calculations, and ultimately these are equations very easily implemented in a program, in a controller, and ultimately you can estimate what is the rotor flux, what is the torque, and cos theta e and sin theta e. And this cos theta e and sin theta e is further utilized in this transformation again. So this is how it works in the closed loop manner for speed control of the motor using the vector control, right? So what are the advantages of vector control? We have a decoupled control of torque and flux. The changing one is not going to affect, so you get fast and high dynamic response. You also can do away with the speed sensor if you wish. So speed sensorless control is also possible. Speed sensorless vector control methods are there, but they are not there in your syllabus, so we are not going to discuss. But those who are interested can go for it. Right. So now one more advanced method which is there in your syllabus is known as direct torque control method. So this is the method which is a scalar control method. So it is better than V by F control method, and it is basically a alternative to vector control. It was developed by few scientists, and I think ABB is having patent for it. So what is direct torque control? So direct torque control is a scalar control method which can be used only with the inverter fed induction motor drives or inverter fed drives, AC drives. So just by controlling the switching of the inverter switches, suppose I have a 3 phase 3 legs and 6 switches inverter. So just by controlling the top and bottom switch of one leg of one phase, so I have 6 switches to control, I can control independently torque and flux in a decoupled manner. So that is directly you are controlling torque, and without any complex measurements and complex 3 phase to 2 phase and all other transformation. Direct torque control, directly torque you can control. So how you can do that? That is what we are going to discuss in our tomorrow's class. So direct torque control is the last method of this particular chapter. So this chapter, there is unit 5, which is dynamic modeling and vector control of induction motor drive, is basically having the disadvantages of scalar control, need for dynamic models. Then you have this reference frames, arbitrary reference frame, from which you can derive stationary reference frame refer to fixed to stator, reference frames fixed to rotor, or reference frame which is synchronously rotating with the synchronously rotating magnetic field. So that theory, and then the concept of vector control. So direct torque control is the last topic, and that is what we wish to most probably cover tomorrow. And from next next week onwards, we would like to start with the last chapter. There is a small chapter, I think, solar and battery operated drives, right? So that's all from my side today. Do you have any questions, friends?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. I hope you are able to understand this.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have any questions, you are free to mail me, WhatsApp me, right? We'll discuss the same in our free time. Thank you. All the best. Stay safe. Bye.